Ladies and gentlemen, it is over. What am I talking about? The FIDE Women's World Championship. I'm not here to clickbait you. I'm not here to deceive you. But the game may very well be over. The match may very well be over after what happened today. It is Ju Wenjun, it is Tan Zhongyi. The score before this game is 4-2. They have now travelled from Shanghai to Chaichi. I think my pronunciation is always terrible. Ju Wenjun has a 2-game lead. She's got the white pieces in this game. And this game is something you cannot believe. Ju Wenjun once again e4, c5. It has been Sicilians all the way. It is a different Sicilian. We go for this, a Rossolimo Sicilian. We get e6, castles, knight g to e7, and d4. Striking in the center, takes, and now this move, queen to b6. Players haven't spent much time at all. This is all theory. We take like this, takes, and we drop the bishop back. The first time Ju Wenjun spent time thinking of where she can retreat her bishop to. Knight g6, and c4. And we've seen this structure with the c-pawn and the e-pawn a lot from Ju Wenjun in this match. We get bishop to e7, knight to c3, castles, and now we attack the queen, and then we push this pawn, which might be a little bit too much. The engine much prefers to just play bishop to e3 first, maybe to look to secure that pawn, or f4, even starting f4 and f5. It thinks maybe c5 is a bit early, especially now that we get d5. We take en passant, take with the bishop, and the queen just flies out. It's like, right, time to bring out the queen. This is maybe a bit too much. She is down 10 minutes, but that's stock standard for this match. She's always down on time, but she's used her time very efficiently in this match, and it had me worried in the first 2 games, particularly when she lost the second game, but since then it has been phenomenal. Rook b8, b3, so that you can move the dark squared bishop and the pawn won't be hanging. You also support your knight. Rook d8, rook d1, rook b4. So just moving lots of rooks, but this makes sense. We put pressure on this, we put pressure on this. Pressure, not threatening to take anything. We could potentially get our rooks both onto this file, and it just leaves you with lots of options. But now Tan Zhongyi down on time after thinking a bit. We fianchetto the bishop. Now that square is very weak. It's putting pressure, so that maybe there's a mate coming. And we're both very much activating our pieces, if I can click on the board properly, towards each other's king. We've got this battery here with queen and bishop. We've got this rook coming down. We've got this rook. White has got their bishops looking this way. The queen over here. The only thing really for white that's a bit bum is this knight. Goes to figure. And now we get knight to f4. The best move in the position. Everything else is actually slightly better for white. So Ju Wenjun's done a good job here. Knight to f4, the only move really holding anything together for black, giving them substance. Queen f3, the best move. Knight takes, rook takes. So we get the knight out, we get the bishop. Now black has 2 bishops. How do you get this one out? Well, very simple. Bishop to a6, gaining a tempo on the rook. When the rook slides back, now we can take a free pawn, king h1, and then the bishop drops back to d6. So far, Tan Zhongyi has done everything well. She's got a slight edge, and she's up a pawn. We threaten mate with the queen and battery on g7. That gets defended very passively, but defended nonetheless with bishop f8, an incredible move. And now we jump our knight forward, threatening the light squared bishop. We don't care. You can take this. It does not faze me one bit. My rook has got pressure. I'm not fazed by giving you the knight for the bishop because it's better for black. You can see it's 0.8, 0.7. So instead, what we do is we drop the queen forward, offering a queen exchange. We deny the queen exchange, and we bring a rook, which is a blunder. Depending on how deep the engine goes, it doesn't give the double exclam here, the double question mark, not the double exclamation mark. It thinks this move is very bad. The top 3 engine moves here are king to g1, just getting off of this file. Rook takes d8, taking a d8, and rook to d4, saying if you take me, then I can, activate my queen, all that stuff. It really doesn't like rook to c1. So we get rook b5, putting pressure on the knight. We have to now trade and drop the queen back, offering a queen exchange. And here we get queen h4 check, which is a mistake from Tan Zhongyi. She's got a couple of better moves here. namely queen to g5, which puts pressure again on the rook. It sees here, and it also puts pressure on the knight. It's a very good move. You've also got queen just takes d4, which is the second choice, and then queen a5 is the third choice, but not all choices are the same. Queen to g5 is the preferred move. She plays queen h4 check, and after king to g1, the only move, bishop to c8. Now, looks passive, but it actually prevents the knight like going forwards where it might want to go. So it's not a bad move. Always remember this. Bishop, which is 3 squares away from a knight, controls it from going forwards or backwards, depending on which side of the knight it is. And now we get e5, which is a mistake from Ju Wenjun. There were question marks all over the thumbnail, and this is why. These players, it is quite amazing where after 2 days of like rest, okay, there was travel, but they haven't played really this game really well, and we get queen takes d4, bishop takes d4, which is not even the best line. The best line here for Tan Zhongyi to really take advantage of this is to keep the queen on the board and play something like queen e7, keeping the queens on the board and keeping them more dynamic. But maybe we look to simplify, queen takes d4, and we look to simplify maybe into a draw, bishop takes, and a5. We get f4, h5, king f2, bishop to e7, and so far, nothing really extraordinary. King e3, g5, taking space, the knight drops back, takes. And here, they've almost made it to move 40, where you can offer a draw. And there's a couple of moves here for Tan Zhongyi to consider. There's really only 2 candidate moves. That is rook b4, which puts pressure on the bishop, and a4. This idea, I don't know if you remember it, from, I think it was game 3. Might have been game 3. No, it's game 1. It was game 1, where you had this a4 idea to destroy this pawn structure and win both pawns. Those are the only 2 moves she can really consider. And here, inexplicably, she plays bishop b7, which is a mistake. For 1 move only, bishop c5. Takes. That light squared bishop is a problem. You get king to g7. King g5 is a miss, but it's still good enough to keep the advantage that she's got, +2 advantage. And what's so amazing is we get bishop to a8, which is even worse. Here, from this position, mistake. Forced trade, another mistake, and then a third mistake in 4 moves. Unbelievable. From a top GM, a world champion in her own right. She's been world champion before. It is unbelievable. 3 mistakes in a row. There's a saying in chess, it's not the first mistake that kills you, it's the second one. She's made a third inexplicable mistake. Now she is hoping that Ju Wenjun does not find her win, because Ju Wenjun is absolutely winning. It's nearly +5. So she is hoping for miracles here. And they aren't coming. Ju Wenjun takes a pawn. We bring the rook back to try and reorganize the pieces. Rook c4. Check, king drops back. We threaten the pawn on g2, king drops back. Another way we threaten that pawn, we give a check, and we go and we collect the pawn. With another king e2, e7, we get takes, and we can give a check. King comes forward, and we just defend our knight. And Tan Zhongyi resigns. From bishop to a8, she played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 moves later, after bishop to a8, the third mistake in 4 moves, she was forced to resign. From a completely normal position, if we go back to king takes f4, from here, the position is dead. It is an endgame. There's no real attacking chances. You could argue that there are some, because these pawns can be weak. This pawn's a bit isolated, but this pawn's isolated, this pawn's isolated. We've got a 2 here and a 2 here, and Tan Zhongyi's up a pawn. So she could press, and maybe she looks too much. Bishop b8. An inexplicable decision. It's the third choice of the engine, but it's +1 almost. Then we get bishop to c5. Now here, taking the bishop is not good, but it's okay. You can also play king to f8 and say, I can trade like this and get my king here. And this will be fine. And look at the engine, it starts decreasing. It thinks that it's no longer that winning. but we got bishop takes, knight takes, and king g7. Even here, the best move is a4 again. It's still plus 1.6, but it is not after bishop to a8 plus 5. An unbelievable game. I've gone through it so quickly because it was nothing until it was over. It was a draw. Ju Wenjun made a mistake with 25, with move 25, rook ac1. The engine thought Tan Zhongyi was better, but better is, relative. It's not winning by any means. You've got to play accurately. We get a trade, and queen d4, queen h4. It's a draw. It's a draw again. King g1, the bishop retreats. Here, maybe a mistake, but taking. The engine on depth 23, stockfish 17, thinks this is a draw. How can it be anything else? You've got, apart from the fact that black's got 2 bishops, they've got no real tangible advantage apart from being up a pawn and having 2 bishops, which is not always enough. It's not always enough when minor pieces are involved. You need the rooks on the board. You trade the rooks, this ends in a draw. And from here, look at how the evaluation just swells every move. Unbelievable. How? Plus 5. Just after time control. Insane. And that surely seals the match for Ju Wenjun. She's up 3 games. So she's on 5 against 2. There are 5 games left. Tan Zhongyi is 3 games behind. She has got 3 games with the white pieces left. I don't mean to be, a doomsday sayer. If she does not win tomorrow and start clawing back these points, the match is over. Ju Wenjun needs 3 draws in 5 games. For all we know, she's going to win the next 2. She's won 3 in a row. She has just figured something out. Tan Zhongyi is, cracked, put under pressure. It is unbelievable turn of events. From the first 4 games that we had to be here now, it is... You couldn't write it. If I told you after game 4, Ju Wenjun's going to win the next 3 in a row, you'd be like, no, surely not. She's looked under pressure this whole game. Even in the 2 draws, she looked under pressure. Tan Zhongyi maybe missed a chance. What can you say?